My dear readers, in navigating the treacherous waters of fate and misfortune, humanity often finds itself beleaguered by its own inherent frailties. This is most evident in the realm of our first responders, the brave souls who man the fire engines, ambulances, police cars, and emergency call centers. Here, the human spirit, while admirably resilient, is not immune to the ravages of emotional burnout, a condition that calls for a re-evaluation of our crisis response strategies, notably the integration of artificial intelligence in place of human operatives. The case for this shift is grounded not just in the remarkable advances in technology, but crucially, in recognizing the inherent limitations of human nature in high-stress roles. The relentless assault of distress and danger takes a heavy toll, manifesting in eroded mental health, clouded judgment, and sometimes tragic missteps. Picture the 911 operator, once empathetic, now numbed by the ceaseless drumbeat of distress calls, or the paramedic, whose once steady hands now betray a subtle tremor, the residue of past losses. These are not abstract notions, but the stark realities of those on the front lines. To persist in placing them in harm's way is not just a disservice to them, but also to those they are sworn to help. Envision the unerring machine, the AI devoid of the shackles of human frailty. Unclouded by trauma, unhampered by fatigue, its prowess in decision-making and crisis assessment is unmatched. This is no longer the realm of science fiction, but a practical, achievable future. Objections to this vision often hinge on the value of human warmth and empathy. Yet what merit lies in a comfort that is shadowed by the specters of trauma? What worth in a human touch that quivers under the weight of accumulated scars? We must not let romantic notions of human interaction blind us to the utilitarian benefits of AI. Moving to AI first responders isn't an abandonment of our humanity, but rather a recognition of our bounds and a celebration of our capacity to innovate. This change would lift the crushing weight from our human heroes, opening new horizons for their skills and passions. In truth, our human nature, for all its wonders, is marked by inconsistency and unreliability, traits that, in the crucible of emergency response, can have dire consequences. In such arenas, even the most laudable intentions can falter under the strain of human error. Here, our natural fallibility is not a mere weakness, but a hazard. Before we embrace this inevitable march towards a future augmented by AI, let us pause to extend a heartfelt tribute to our first responders for their invaluable contributions. These men and women, embodying the noblest virtues of courage and compassion, have stood unwaveringly at the forefront of our society's most harrowing crises. Yet we must acknowledge a poignant truth. The spirit, though valiant and steadfast, is of flesh, and like the flesh, it yields. It yields to the unrelenting pressures of trauma, to the insidious creep of fatigue, to the burdens that over time become too heavy to bear. Their dedication is beyond question, but it is precisely this unyielding commitment that has exacted a toll too steep. In honoring their sacrifices, we must also recognize their humanity, and in doing so, understand the necessity of this transition towards a new paradigm in crisis response. The imperative to transition to AI in emergency response is not just logical but moral. To cling to the old ways is to endorse a system that oscillates between inefficiency and outright cruelty. We stand at the dawn of a new era in crisis management, where the steadfast machine emerges as our most reliable ally. It's time to step forward into this new epoch, appreciating the full spectrum of its advantages and the relief it brings to the human condition.